Champ Week. It is presented by Wendy's, and we are looking live at Bud Walton Arena. There tonight, a huge game in the SEC, right here on ESPN. You heard the company in the studio talk about it. Chance for an SEC regular season champion to be crowned. That's what Alabama is playing for. Only one loss in conference. Arkansas's last loss in conference was to Alabama. They've run off 7 straight SEC wins. Delighted to be alongside Jimmy Dykes. I'm Carl Ravitch. We set the table for you. You're right there in Fayetteville. How big a game is this in the community? How big a game is this in the conference?
Yeah, Ravi, not just in this state. It's the biggest game in college basketball tonight across the country.
Yeah.
You have Alabama coming in, trying to hang in that fight for a #1 seed in that NCAA tournament, can clinch the SEC regular season title tonight. And Arkansas right there behind them, 3 games back. But Arkansas doing great work in the month of February so far. They've gone from a 10 seed to a 6 seed in the last 3 weeks. A huge opportunity for the Hogs on their home floor.
Hogs have been so good on their home floor against Alabama. Last 25 games, Arkansas has won 19 of them, and they control the tip. Alabama in the Crimson Red, Arkansas the home whites.
And Ravi, the team in Crimson Red is no joke defensively. They are the #2 defensive efficiency team in the country, right behind Loyola Chicago. Very difficult to get good looks against Alabama.
Connor Vanover is a 7'3" in the corner guy. He will shoot threes. And the first jump shot of the night, nothing but the bottom for Devontae Davis. Season high 36 minutes against Florida. He scored 18 that night. He stays hot. You see Jayden Shackleford, Primo, Petty, and Jordan Bruner back healthy and back in the starting lineup for Nate Oates. First 3 from Alabama. That's off. Offensive rebound. No defense for Arkansas. Late defense. Then the block was made. And a good effort from Jalen Tate.
Ravi, it's a balanced Arkansas team. 4 or 5 guys in double figures. They've got a stud freshman in Moses Moody in that starting lineup. Good pieces that work really well together. A very selfless ball club are the Razorbacks.
These two teams mirror images of each other. Each coach has been there the exact same amount of time. The only difference, really, Alabama will shoot a few more threes. There's a turnover. Moses Moody, 2-on-1. Is it a charge? It is, and Herb Jones draws the charge against Moody. What a play by the player of the year in conference.
Yeah, and possibly the defensive player of the year is Herb Jones. And he's had foul trouble, Herb Jones has. He's fouled out of 2 of the last 3. And to hang in there and take the blow, Moody should have given that ball up or played off at 2 feet.
The 11th charge drawn by Herb Jones. That is second on the team. Good pass, and the first bucket made by Joshua Primo underneath for Alabama.
We talk about Alabama's ability to knock down threes. This game is decided by Arkansas. Can you guard the ball? Therefore, you guard the 3. If you can't stay in front of the ball against Alabama, you are in for a long night.
Petty is matched up against Moody. Vanover, a big-time height advantage, but that ball knocked away on the defensive end by Jordan Bruner. How important for Bruner to be back and be a presence for Alabama, Jimmy?
Well, he's a 3-point shooter at the 5 position, but he's got a toughness about him, a hard nose about him in terms of a defensive rebounder. Talking about 2 in red. They are their best defensive squad when he's on the floor.
First foul called against John Petty. Our officials tonight, Doug Shows, he called the charge. Steve Anderson and Lee Cassell.
Ravi, a huge matchup. The vibe around Arkansas the last 48 hours, you could just feel it. And the reason why, this is the first top 25 matchup in Bud Walton Arena since 1998. This is a very proud basketball program, and Coach Musselman has them right back in that national scene.
Jalen Tate and some dribbling from Justin Smith. He was hurt that first matchup against Alabama. Having him back may be an X factor. Pull up 3, way short, air ball on the 4,000 at Bud Walton Arena. Roar when they see the air ball. Vanover thought about a 3. Good hands from Petty. And Vanover got back, but he fouled John Petty.
With the hot hands of Alabama early kind of disrupted Arkansas's offense. Petty has made tremendous strides as a defender under Nate Oates. So good that Nate Oates now can put John Petty on your best player and allow Herb Jones to kind of become a free safety.
Petty's first free throw, good. He's a terrific shooter. He's an outstanding three-point shooter. About 73% from the free throw line. Seeing that ball go through the bucket important early. Last game for Petty, he was 1 of 7 from 3 against Vanderbilt.
Ravi, he's a guy, Petty, if he makes one, if he makes his first one, watch out. You have to stay
Shackleford was 1 of 9 in that game, Jimmy, against Vanderbilt. As the coach told us, we shoot that way, we lose tonight. Well, Shackleford with the body on the floor.
Jalen Tate's such a good player, man. He's so valuable in terms of his ability to drive the ball. He's tremendous at finding the second side of the floor as a ball mover. Makes big-time defensive plays. Just a key piece in that transfer portal that Coach Muss identified and fits in perfectly.
Out of Northern Kentucky, more of a scorer into the point guard role. And one thing Arkansas has done during this win streak, they have cut down their turnovers. Wild shot, Moody with the offensive rebound, who'll go to the free throw line.
Probably the best rebounding wing in this SEC is Moses Moody, especially on the offensive glass. I mean, he is tremendous at playing with his butt to the baseline as a scorer from the short corner. When that shot goes, he goes and gets it, and Muss does a tremendous job of moving Moody around, but keeping him around the rim as an offensive rebounder is a big deal.
So fascinating to see where Musselman came from the CBA, the NBDL, the NBA, then of course at Nevada. Meantime, on the other side, Nate Oates, who just got a contract extension, got his pay bumped up to a little over $3 million a year, was at Romulus High School in 2013. Bobby Hurley, who was then at Rhode Island, was recruiting a kid from Romulus, really was impressed with Oates, brought him on board when Hurley became the head coach at Buffalo. When Hurley left, Oates took over the job, but he was a high school basketball coach, and these two guys are building big-time programs in conference.
Well, they are similar in so many ways. First of all, their energy, their engagement with their fan base, and how they see the game. They both like to build their rosters off of speed, offense, and tremendous defense. We've talked about Nate's defense, #2 in the nation. On the other end, Eric Musselman's defense is in the top 25. Both these teams see the game in very similar ways, similar styles. The only difference, Alabama a little heavier on the threes.
I thought you were going to say the only difference, the sport coat and the golf shirt.
Yeah, that too. Guard the ball.
Open for a three, Alex Reese. Nope, that's short. Ball deflected back to him. He'll fire again. In and out.
I would not if I'm Arkansas, and I don't think they will. I don't think they will react to Alex Reese or Bruner shooting threes. I think Arkansas is okay with that. You look at their percentages, play the analytics, let them fire.
Jalen Williams, he hoists one. That's no good. And a call on the floor. Looks like they're going to get the foul against Arkansas. And Justin Smith.
Yeah, Justin Smith did not play in that first outing. He did, but he wasn't full speed. And Arkansas got thumped. That was a racehorse versus a mule in Tuscaloosa. We know who the racehorse was. Alabama won by 31. This game is completely different in coming in.
Javon Quinterly, who gets a lot of minutes. In fact, more minutes than many of the starters. Number 13 will play point guard now. He's over in the upper part of your screen in the corner. Under 8 on the shot clock for Petty. Gets the high screen and the drive. And throws it up with the left.
Really good as a sprint out ball screen, and they flipped it up top and get Petty to his left hand. What does Alabama do? They shoot threes, they shoot rim shots and free throws. They will not take tough twos in this game.
Moses Moody, tough take around the rim twice and finally down, and tied at 6.
An aggressive score. What, he had 28 points in the first matchup, had to take 25 shots to get there. He may need to have one of those performances again tonight.
Quinterly's three-point shooting has been really good in conference, but that was a brick. And the push and the basket, it counts. And Jawan Gary will go to the free throw line, trying to complete the three-point play. Only 4,000, they're loud tonight. Big game in the SEC. Hogs by 2 early. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's. Try the new jalapeno popper chicken sandwich and salad today at participating U.S. Wendy's. And ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Back with Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch. I think I said Juwan Gary going to the break. It was Devo Davis who knocked it in and will shoot the foul.
Yeah, such a smart play by Devo Davis. First of all, he got Herb Jones on his butt, kind of slowed down and got that defender off of him, and then the explosion to go by. I have fallen in love with this kid as a player. If you're just watching Arkansas for the first time, remember the name Devo Davis, a freshman. He's a Patrick Beverly-type defender, toughness, tenacious, got on the floor because of his defensive ability, and he is a pleasure to watch.
They set Reese up for the corner three. That's no good. And Shackleford's gone to the bench for Alabama. He's got 2 fouls. Desi Sills into the game for Arkansas. He wears number 3. Good look. And a foul, Reese got him, and that's another chance for a 3-point play. Jalen Tate.
I told you about Tate earlier, Rav. He does so many things. Watch the violent cut, boom, just explodes, man. He got his guy just on the high shoulder, and with one big step and a pivot right there, man. Number 11, really good job with the ball fake. Gets right into the body of Reese. Arkansas's movement and their motion and their cuts right now are hard and fast. If you do not do that against Alabama, you will not get open.
Jimmy Tate was a scorer when he was at Northern Kentucky, 950 points, and he also was the Horizon League Defensive Player of the Year in 2020. Good start to this one for Arkansas.
Ravi, he's a 6'6" point guard. Look at Arkansas icing that ball, not letting Alabama get that thing middle, forcing everything down early in this game.
And you're right, Jimmy. They are letting Reese shoot the 3, and he has missed them all so far.
Yeah, Reese is taking the bait. At some point, he's got to figure it out.
Herb Jones penetrates. We get a charge on Herb Jones. Charge drawn that time by Arkansas's Jalen Williams.
Arkansas's confident cockiness swagger has matched Alabama's in this game early. And I think that's very important because Alabama is the cockiest team in this league coming in. And Arkansas says, we see that, we will match you tonight. They are talking, they are alert. Their defensive game plan is on point. Do not react to Reese shooting threes. He's shooting below 30%. And Alex Reese continues to take the bait. He's fired up 3 of them now, 0 for so far.
It's a specialty of Jalen Williams drawing charges. You know, Jimmy, as a former coach, how important that is, defensive end. He's got 13 drawn charges. That leads the team.
Jalen Williams comes off that bench, Ravi, and he's had 3 games where he's had 10 rebounds in a ball game off the bench. And I watched him play at Fort Smith Northside. You do not have to worry about his effort, his fight, his toughness as a freshman. The skill's going to come. And man, that big Valentine's inside that jersey.
Well, you know it. Shooters shoot. We'll see if Reese, when he gets back in the game, keeps hoisting. Alabama tonight, Jimmy, 0 for 7 from three-point land. Reese is 0 for 4, so he's gone to the bench.
Yeah, they come in, Alabama, making 12 per game at 39% in conference play. Alabama's offense is pretty simple. There's a lot of 4 out on the three-point line and 1 guy working the short corner on the baseline.
Good effort, but a foul called against Arkansas's Devo Davis as he came over the top. Saw Doug Shaw's motion.
I don't think anyone plays harder in this league than Devo Davis. And he is all about just give me a chance, man. You try to throw a pass, let me try to run through it. And he's a hot hand defender, and now having to sit with a foul trouble. That's not good news for Arkansas. I think he changes the game for them defensively.
Well, he's got 2. He's gone to the bench. Shackleford playing with 2 back on the floor for Alabama. Turnover against Quinterly.
Early, it looks like Alabama's struggling with Arkansas icing, downing the action. Not letting that ball get to middle drive territory.
Low by. Boy, good start, Jalen Tate.
Really good smoke screen, jet screen, blur screen action by Moody to confuse the defense. And Tate just exploded off of it.
Shackleford 0 for 8 is Alabama. They live by the 3. Shooting their percentage of points about 40% from three, 40% at the rim, and as you mentioned, about 20% from the free throw line. Oh, Quinterly got left Williams the foul, and he will shoot two.
Yeah, Jalen Williams, that's not what you want him doing, is driving the ball like that. He does a good job of avoiding and sidestepping. Very important physical defender.
Bruner picks up his second. Arkansas shoots 74.8% from the free throw line. Williams, he misses that, and he's an 80% free throw shooter.
Ravi, I mentioned Arkansas, their last possession, used a blur screen, a smoke screen, a ghost screen.
Yeah.
Different teams call it different things. Alabama does the same thing. And what it is, you've got the guy with the ball, and another offensive player will run to the ball like they're going to set a screen and just keep on going. It confuses the defense. 4 or 5 different terminologies. Trigger screens is one of them. Smoke screens, whatever makes sense to your guys.
Juwan Gary into the game. He got met there, and another foul. So the whistles are blowing early here as teams pick up fouls. 7 on Alabama, 7 on Arkansas now.
Alabama is 0 for 8 from the three-point line, and I believe they have taken 3 non-paint touch threes. That's not who they are. And Nate Oates will remind his guys, who are we? We are a drive the ball to the paint, kick-out 3 team. We are not a come-down, one side of the floor, jack it up 3. I think their shot selection from 3 must change right now.
Well, we mentioned Romulus High School. Back then, when Nate Oates was buying those Blazers, he was looking for the 2-for-1 deals. Now they're custom tailored and looking fine on the sideline. It's an ode to Wimp Sanderson. He loves the plaid. Doesn't love what his team is doing so far.
Yeah, he loves Tuscaloosa. Told us that I don't want to go anywhere. We love it here. I'm tired of moving my family around. And I'm not sure he knew what sweet tea was when he got there, but he is all in on Roll Tide.
Tate got Quinterly, the roll by Vanover, and the quick hands knocks it away. Good bounce pass to Keon Ellis. Followed is good. That's Gary off the bench and making an impact.
Yeah, really good energy by Gary to not give up on the play, trail the play with speed and quickness.
Oh, it's just Moody. He's a smooth shooter, and he gets it to go. And a foul on Ellis. Chance for a 4-point play. Moses Moody.
Well, Moody is organized when he catches that ball, and he shoots a really good ball. If you go back and watch the rotation on his shot, that thing's going to rotate about 3 times, maybe 3.5, and he's always consistent with it. Bad shooters, sometimes they'll shoot a ball rabbit that rotates 2 times from the three-point line. The next time it might have too much spin and rotate 4. Not this guy. He is very consistent.
Moody's got 7, looking for his 8th. Knocks it down. Arkansas by 10 here with 12:15 to go in the first half.
Ravi, it's a high foul rate game so far. Both teams in the bonus. And this has been a league that the fouls have come down because of Mike Eads sending the message called the big boy fouls only. We're a big boy league. And we'll see if that changes the next 12 minutes of this half.
Really good job by Vanover on the defensive end there. Jimmy realized he had Quinterly coming at him. He didn't have to jump. Just stood there. Quinterly fired it up, and it was Vanover who went and got the rebound. Here he comes, and he knocks it.
Yeah, that's what you need from Connor Vanover. If you ever not watch Arkansas play, this guy's 7'3", and he's getting tougher by the month. Back in November, that would have been a finger roll finesse play. Not tonight.
Bad pass from Quinterly, but he got away with it. Gary, way off. Alabama still looking for their first 3. They're 0 for 9. Really good defense that time. It's a block. It's Juwan Gary, who's everywhere tonight. And there he is again with a follow flush. Juwan Gary keeping Alabama in it by himself.
Not even sure he was going to play tonight because of the dislocated shoulder he suffered about 10 days ago against South Carolina. But the shoulder's good enough to allow him to jump and get his chin on the rim for 2 putbacks. Alabama's now 5 out. All 5 guys outside that 3-point line. They may shape up to 4 around 1. Yeah, they've got 4 on the baseline, 4-1 offense. The gaps are bigger to drive.
Shackleford, that's a charge. Really good defense again. That time Jayden Tate.
Ravi, is that his 3rd on Shackleford?
It is.
Huge play by Tate, known for his offense. Hot feet, hot hands, draws a charge. Good start for Arkansas. Woo pick.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's. Try the new jalapeno popper chicken sandwich and salad today at participating U.S. Wendy's. And ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. All right, we're back. Apologize. Play started a little early. You didn't miss anything. Ellis drives, and the first 3 of the night is made for Alabama. It's Javon Quinterly.
Ravi, what did you say? Ellis drives, then the 3 by Quinterly. That's Alabama basketball. Make Arkansas stay in front of that basketball. Drive them, kick, your 3s will come clean.
Quinterly, one of a handful of really good Alabama shooters as Moody launches too strong in conference play. Quinterly shooting 53% from 3. Watch out. Herb Jones with the flush on a pass from Quinterly.
Yeah, Alabama is really aggressive now, running that ball up your backside. They can score as quick as anyone in this league the first 3 or 4 seconds of the shot clock. Very organized, very fast in their conversion offense.
Story of the game so far, Alabama has missed all their 3s but 1. They're 1 of 10. We've had 16 fouls called at the 9-minute mark of the first half. Moses Moody, corner 3s, missed his last 2, and here comes Alabama again. Petty in the paint, nowhere to go, forces one up, no roll.
Really a tough shot. That is not the shot that Nate Oates wants. He does not want shots taken from the 6-foot mark to the 19-foot mark.
Look at Tate. He had 3 Crimson Tide shirts around him, waited and knocked it in.
Yeah, long 6'6" point guard is Jalen Tate. Just, again, defensively, he understands all 5 spots. He can guard all 5 spots. He moves that ball, knocking down shots.
Herb Jones traveled. Yep. Turnover for Alabama.
Arkansas's defense has bothered Alabama early in this game. I've already talked about the downing and the icing going on. But Arkansas is climbing outside that 3-point line, not letting Alabama dance with that basketball and rise up to clean 3s. Eric's guys dialed in so far the first 12 of this one.
5 turnovers for each team. These teams are very similar, but tonight's a great example of the real difference between them. If there is one, it's the number of 3s Alabama will shoot. Good hands from Herb Jones. Alabama's taken 10 3s tonight, Jimmy. Arkansas has taken 3 of them. 23-16 in favor of Arkansas, and they are shooting 50% from the floor. So Nate Oates got a new deal. Maybe Eric Musselman will follow suit. Put together a really unique team, Jimmy. Let's talk about the building of Arkansas.
Well, he's done a terrific job over his years as a college head coach of identifying transfers and talking to opposing coaches that play against those guys in those leagues, and really doing a great job of digging in to what he's getting. And that is so important when you're building a roster and you're bringing in transfers like Eric will do it. Now, he's also done a terrific job of recruiting the state of Arkansas and locking up the best ones. But, Ravi, when you bring in a transfer, it's pretty simple. You can choose the wrong date, and that's temporary. Like, it's 2 hours and cost you maybe $50 and some ice cream. You choose the wrong transfer, that can change your year. That can change your season. You get a guy that comes in with the wrong attitude, the wrong agenda, and Eric and his guys, they are as deep as anyone I've talked to in terms of how hard they look at who are we getting.
Yeah. Just took me a second to understand what you were saying when you can choose the wrong date. I was thinking like you mean like day on the calendar. I didn't know you were talking about taking someone on a date. Michigan, number 3, sitting atop the conference to get Garza and number 9 Iowa. What a game Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. And then East Lansing, it's Ohio State and Michigan State. The Buckeyes trailing the Wolverines by a game and a half. Both games, ESPN and the ESPN app. That's Thursday, 7 and 9. Huge Big Ten college hoop doubleheader tomorrow.
I love what Luka Garza said about a month ago. He said, we ain't messing around. And they are not messing around. Iowa defensively, they are starting to lock in, holding the last 4 or 5 opponents to 70 points a ball game. One of those teams that we'll talk about it later. I think there's 8 that can win it all. Iowa's right there.
Luka Garza, how about the Luka that's playing in the NBA and what he did to the Celtics? My goodness. Luka Doncic, ridiculously good.
Yeah, not just the Celtics.
He's done it to everybody. That's true. If I'm Alabama, Jimmy, if I'm Alabama, I'm 1 of 11 from 3, and I'm down 9 in this game. I've gotten very little from Jones. I've gotten nothing from Bruner. I've gotten nothing from Reese, who's 0 for 4 from 3. How am I feeling?
Well, you're not feeling great. Plus, you've already got 10 fouls put on you, and the whistle has not let up. And Alabama's going to have to adjust to how this game's being called. I'm not big on talking about that a lot because normally it's pretty consistent, but this is a pretty tight whistle in this game. And Alabama, as good as they've been defensively without fouling, so far in this game, they have not. Look at Arkansas continuing to just down that action, man, making you drive down that outer third.
John Petty drains one, and that was off a Herb Jones drive and kick.
If you aren't there on the catch of Petty, it's over. He actually begins his shot motion, Ravi, before the ball touches his hands. Very unique and difficult to defend.
Baseline jumper, it goes for Jalen Tate. Have yourself a game. He's got 9. Moody's got 10.
What do you want your point guard to do, man? He can guard the 1 through 5 for you. You can take him off the ball, let him score from the short corner. Hard to handle.
There's a block. Yes, sir. Henderson into the game with a block at the rim.
You have to send a message against a team like Alabama. You have to bring the fight to them. Alabama's so good, and when they're comfortable and their offense is clean, they're dialing up threes and driving the ball with speed, you are in trouble. If you're Arkansas, you say, not tonight. We're going to give you different looks. We're going to put different bodies on you and make life miserable. So far, they have.
Herb Jones, did he walk? He did. Another travel, another turnover, the 6th of the game for Alabama. Henderson getting some minutes tonight. 2 fouls each on Davis and Williams for Arkansas. 3 fouls on Shackleford, 2 on Rojas, 2 on Bruner. What a matchup. Tate and Herb Jones. Moody, that's a 2, and that's off. Good defense that time, and an attempt to throw it over the backboard. That didn't work.
You mentioned Herb Jones guarding that ball. Alabama switching pretty much the 1 through 5, and Herb Jones for Alabama. The guy he's guarding is shooting 27% from the floor this year, 28% last year. So when you go ISO ball tonight, if you're Eric Musselman, don't go ISO with Herb Jones as the defender.
Quinterly kick, Ellis 3, around and out. So 2 of 13, shooting about 15% from three-point land tonight. It almost looked like Tate cleared out with his elbow, but instead they call it on the floor. That'll be on Gary.
Ravi, Arkansas is winning the fight for the elbow. And what I'm talking about is when they have the ball offensively, they're getting the ball to the elbow more than Alabama's keeping the ball off the elbow. And that is prime real estate, man. Every coach talks about the value of the elbow, the value of the nail. Can you defend those areas, and can you drive the ball through those areas? Arkansas having success so far.
Tate, only a 67% free throw shooter. He missed that. And the other difference, too, Jimmy, between these two teams as we watch them tonight, may see them again meet up in the SEC tournament. For Arkansas, this is going to be their 13th free throw attempt. They will drive the ball. I know Alabama likes to go to the rim, but tonight Alabama's attempted 4 free throws. And we've seen 12, now 13 from Arkansas.
4 out, 1 on the inside, create big gaps and drive it. There you go, Alabama. That's who you are right there. Nate Oates lifted his baseline guy, kind of brought him up to clear out more space. Got the attack.
Loose hands. Henderson lost it. That ball is out of bounds. Doug Schau says it's Arkansas ball.
Ravi, both teams play fast offensively, and they do it because the game's pretty simple. I think Eric Musselman maybe has a few more play calls than Alabama. For the most part, man, a lot of freedom, a lot of trust, keeping the floor spread, taking what the defense gives you, and play with speed under control.
Moody and Petty going at each other. They dump it to Henderson. He steps through. 2 tied players roll right on top. He stepped through and got an easy layup. And they'll quickly call that foul on Desi Sills. There wasn't much there either as Quinterly was by him. I agree with you, Jimmy. We've had 18 fouls called, and some of them wouldn't. It doesn't feel like the games we've done would have been fouls in the games we've done.
No, this one has a different flavor to it, and I'm anxious to see if the officials at halftime, they are great at communication with one another. Do they come together? And it's a good crew. These are guys, Doug Schau, Steven Anderson, Lee Castle. They understand this, so they will talk at halftime and talk through it and think, is our whistle a little tight? If it's not, keep on. If they're fouling, call the fouls. If not, you may have to adjust. Screen the screener into the ball screen. Really good action and good defense by Alabama to take it away.
Ooh, Desi Sills denied. How about Jawan Gary tonight? Petty, that's a tough shot. High arcing 3, finds the bottom.
That was terrific defense and better offense because Petty was covered up on the catch. Little shot fake and a sidestep and still made a defended 3.
Another foul against Alabama. I'll tell you, Tate's doing a heck of a job, Jimmy, driving, penetrating, and finding an open man.
Alabama getting a few better 3-point looks. The ball's touching the paint. The 3-point shots are starting to come. Got a good one in Fayetteville.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Heineken. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Alabama has got it back to 5 after a lay-in. The free throws we came out of break were missed. And we'll see you guys on the E-Trade halftime report. Jalen Tate, that's a high-arcing shot that goes. Jalen Tate now with a dozen.
Tate is really scoring the ball, Ravi. It's just such a selfless game. He's their best decoy cutter. He's also their best at moving the backside of the play when it doesn't involve him. And tonight, though, the offense is big from number 11.
You said it during the break to me. John Petty is starting to feel it a little bit. He's back on the floor, and that's not a good shot. was never going to go. Jordan Bruner, when it was blocked, it just looked like, Jimmy, there was confusion on offense. Where is he going here?
If you're a post player shooting a one-handed flip shot, then that's you just need to come and sit down for a minute and regroup. Yeah, Bruner does not have that explosiveness back from that meniscus surgery.
Yep. Wide open three from the corner. That's better, and it's Bruner.
But he can still do that. I would not overreact, though, if I'm Arkansas, to him making a three. Still play the percentages, shrink your defense off of Reese and off of Bruner.
The way this game has gone, it feels like it can't be a 4-point game, and yet it is. Push from behind. They're going to get Jones. He nudged a little bit. Justin Smith. Herb Jones now with 2.
Well, Ravi, he fouled a bad pass. I mean, it's one thing to foul when the pass is a problem. That was a bad pass that he fouled. And I said it earlier, Herb Jones has fouled out of 2 of the last 3 ball games. And it's those type of fouls right there that you have to avoid. His value to this team, it's hard to overstate it. They are a different team when he's on the floor and off the floor.
You know, Arkansas would have a bigger lead. They've missed 6 free throws tonight. Now 7. Herb Jones, foul on the floor. They call it on Tate. He's confused. So, Jimmy, let me ask you this. A lot of times in football, in baseball, the managers will gather the umpires. Heck, the commissioner's office will call and say, hey, be weary. These 2 teams, they got something going. There may be, you know, some bad blood, throwing the pitch inside. Where, if at all, would a message come to these officials to say, let's call it tighter, or would that not be part of it?
No. That's not the. That's. I don't think that's in the equation tonight, Ravi. These guys study a lot of film. They understand tendencies. Is this a heavy ball screen? Well done by Jayden Tate, man. The hard-nosed plays by Arkansas tonight. The body blow plays. They've done a really good job on. That's a body blow play. Body on body, and the eyes finish the shot. You make hard layups with a long reach and your eyes finishing the shot. Very well done by Tate.
Outstanding take. A high-volume scorer. Led the team in scoring on multiple occasions this season. He completes the three-point play. And just like that, the lead back up to 7. So no bugging any referees here. That doesn't happen.
No.
Okay.
They stay really consistent. Watch a ton of film. Make sure they understand the tendencies going in the ball game. They call what they see. Another hard shot, bad shot.
Yeah, flipped up and it was blocked. Henderson playing well in limited minutes. Tate always looking to penetrate. There is a travel. Tate got trapped.
Well, there's a reason why these 2 teams are both in the top 25 defensively. They are gap solid. They full body help, and if you drive a gap, they come at the ball with 2 hands. They don't reach with 1. They're very well drilled, kind of like Virginia with their Final Four team. They were outstanding at attacking the gap with 2 hands defensively. Well, you can't let Petty get loose, man. I'm telling you, this is a guy that can go off for 6 or 7 threes.
Bruner will try to make another one, and he does. And Petty forced that, Jimmy. He drew a couple of defenders, and Bruner was wide open.
Well, and Bruner's guy shrunk to the action. And you're just watching Arkansas defensively. The help is coming off of Bruner and Reese. Reese has not made Arkansas pay for it, but Bruner has.
And Bruner may be one of those guys you lay off of. He's a 30% three-point shooter, and he's made a couple tonight with an offensive foul. Herb Jones drew another charge.
You got to move the defense, Ravi. You got to move the defense. A first side of the floor attack off the bounce tonight will not work in this game for either end, but especially for Alabama. You're up against the number 2 defense in the country if you're Arkansas. Make them work and make them move.
Bruner, why not? They leave him open again. Yep. He buries another one. Jordan Bruner's 3rd 3 of the night.
And now you have to adjust. Jordan Bruner came into this ball game, Ratty, shooting only 6 out of 19 from the three-point line in conference play. He's made 3, and now Arkansas has to adjust defensively.
3 of 5. We saw Reese early miss 4 threes. He hasn't played much. Bruner getting the time. That one rattles in and out. And Note will launch again. That one much better.
No hesitation by Note. I think he's 9th on the team in minutes played, number 2 in field goal attempts. Note with a ton of confidence. Hogs still up 4.
.5 points a game. Alabama averaging 81 points a game. For a while, it felt like they'd have a hard time getting to 65-70, and here we are with 26 to go, 39-35 Arkansas. Alabama wins this one. They will clinch the outright SEC title and keep themselves in line for a possible 1 seed. We'll talk a little bracketology in the second half.
Most of the set plays by Musselman are by Oates is to get a drive opportunity for a drive and kick.
Bruner.
Bam.
Oh, he's on fire, his 4th 3. And what a half for Jordan Bruner. Alabama will go to breakdown 1. And boy, he missed 9 games with a bad knee. He's a great shooter at the rim. Tonight, he's a great shooter from deep. And J.D. Note keeping it going for the Hogs. Just what we thought we'd have. And now it's the E-Trade halftime report. Welcome back, everyone. You're watching ESPN's Road to Championship Week. It's presented by Wendy's and the SEC on ESPN. Arkansas 39, Alabama 38. Carl Ravitch and Jimmy Dykes. A couple of quick thoughts, Jimmy. We had 27 field goals made. We had 25 fouls called. You see Bruner and Tate as leading scorers. Alabama was 0 for 9 from 3. They made 7 of their last 8, thanks in large part to Bruner.
Well, those 2 guys came to ball on the screen tonight. Bruner, his three-point shot has changed this game. Now, Arkansas is going to have to change defensively what they do because Alabama, they now have a 5 guy in Bruner that has gravity ability in this game. The defense now has to stay attached to this kid, so the drive angles will probably be even enhanced now for Alabama in the second half. And Jalen Tate, he just came to ball, man. This guy is no fear, tough, and probably has played as hard or harder than anybody else on the floor tonight. It feels like a 1 or 2 seed versus a 5 or 6 seed at halftime, 39-38. A very important 20 minutes ahead of us. Alabama trying to wrap up their first SEC title in a long time.
And how about it? 8 seconds in, we have the first foul of the second half called. A hard drive and an offensive foul called against Herb Jones. Herb Jones now 3 fouls.
Just lowering your head and not understanding where the defense is by Jones. Just very uncharacteristic of a kid who normally, you can go back and grade his film. He's going to grade 92, 93%. Not tonight so far.
Not tonight. Another turnover into the corner for the ball is Shackleford. Let's see what Bruner does. Shackleford back in. He was in foul trouble in the first half. He buries a 3.
Alabama shoots a ton of shots within the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. Your defense, Arkansas, has to be hot and on point early in the possession.
Moses Moody no good. And how about Bruner going up out of Yale to transfer and takes it away from Vanover. Hard drive, that's good. Joshua Primo. Alabama now up by 4, having led for 36 seconds in the first half.
Yeah, Josh Primo is a blur in the open floor. Long 6'6" kid from Canada, reclassified. Quiet in the first half, can explode in the second.
They got to get Moody going. He missed that one off the back iron. Here comes Alabama. Petty right by Moody. He got fouled. He didn't call it. Looked like he grabbed his left hand. He missed the layup.
All created by Bruner's presence in the corner. You can't come off the ball side corner. Petty just missed it.
Tate way short. Vanover, he hoists a 3, and that's no good, and no offensive glass work from Arkansas. There's Bruner. And
what a start, huh?
Quickly. Yes, it was.
Roll Tide, rolling the first 2 minutes. They have punched that ball against Arkansas's transition defense. Eric Musselman said, I've seen enough. Roll Tide all of a sudden up 6.
Welcome back, everyone. So much of the game's about halftime adjustments. Nate Oates' team comes out 3 of 4 in the second half. Arkansas 0 for 4. And Alabama can clinch the regular season title with a victory tonight. See what they've done at home and on the road. They haven't really had success against ranked teams, but they also haven't won a conference crown since 2002.
And Ravi, how about this? The last time Alabama football and Alabama basketball won the SEC regular season title, 1975-76.
Look at you.
A chance at history tonight for Alabama.
Now, after all that offense from Arkansas in the first half, just to start this second half, you wonder, all right, so where are the points going to come from? How about in the paint? Nice dish, and that's a little lay-in from Jalen Williams.
Yeah, and where is Justin Smith for Arkansas? He got 1 point in 21 minutes, has been no factor. He's grabbed 5 or 6 rebounds, but Justin Smith is a difference maker for Arkansas. And so far in this game, he has made no difference. Zero in White has to get going. Musk likes to use him in isolation situations. But Alabama has very good individual defenders that can defend a 6'7" guy, and Smith is feeling that tonight.
He's got Bruner on him right now. Petty and Williams one-on-one. Uh-oh. All right, good start right here for Jalen Williams. Back-to-back buckets.
Yeah, just a little bit of a love bump from Williams to Petty to send a little bit of a message. Got himself regathered, went up with a really nice jump hook. This kid's going to be a player. He first of all, he doesn't have any fear. A lot of freshmen in a game like this, they kind of shrink from the moment. Not Williams. He has not backed down from any of those body blow type plays.
Williams had a good game against Florida, and he grabbed a season-high 10 rebounds. Here's a guy into the game who made a big impact when he played. Juwan Gary came in first half, scored 5 points, grabbed 4 rebounds, had a couple of blocks. And with the foul trouble that Alabama was in, they needed him. A little isolation again. Williams, that time Bruner knocked it away. Tough shot from Moody, no good. Tate penetrates. Moody in traffic, and they're going to get a foul probably on Bruner.
Well, Arkansas has got to get stuff done in the paint in this game. They cannot match Alabama from the three-point line. So you have to make up for that deficit, Ravi, from the free throw stripe or the painted area of the floor.
As Moody steps into the free throws, remind everybody Saturday, how about Illinois and Wisconsin? Full day of college basketball. The Illini have won 6 of 7. They take on Wisconsin and Madison at 2 Eastern. Then number 11, Florida State, leading the ACC. Got a game against North Carolina at 4 o'clock Eastern time. That's at the Dean Smith Center. That's not a good loss for Carolina tonight to Marquette. That was an invited game from Roy and company, and that backfired big time.
Yeah, Marquette with a losing record goes into Chapel Hill, and won't be surprised if that next bracket, North Carolina is sitting there out or last 4 in.
Primo's 3 no good. Battle Gary kept it alive. Oh, nearly had it. What an effort again from Juwan Gary.
Rav, you mentioned that Illinois game coming up. Illinois is one of 8 teams in the country, I said last night, that can win the national championship. I think there's only 8. I think there's a line drawn there. I'll put them in ranks here in just a little bit, but Illinois concerns me. They're too heavy on Ayo Dosunmu and Coburn. They're too heavy on those 2 players, but those are the 8 teams I think can play it, and that's the order I think they're in right now. Michigan, Ohio State, wow, what a game on Sunday. I think they're a notch ahead of Baylor right now.
Big picture college basketball, you see Alabama there is Petty's baseline jumper, good. Petty's had a good game, a little quiet 12 points, but he's 4 of 6 from the floor.
Not the shot that Arkansas wants. Jalen Williams, 3 out of 10 coming in from the three-point line in league play. Didn't make Alabama work. You guarded yourself.
Gary, 3. Quinterly got it to him. Not a good shot, and a foul on the floor, and that's going to be called against Joshua Primo. Better second half for Alabama.
Alabama came out. Yeah, they came out of the second half throwing heavy blows, and Arkansas picked themselves up off the mat. Well, we ain't going away.
Number 6 in the country, Alabama got a 1-point lead over Arkansas, 47-46. So there was a great note put out by Joe Lunardi earlier today. Alabama, they can't get to the 1 line tonight even with a win, but look at that. Every major conference team with no or 1 league loss in the last 20 years has been a number 1 seed. Nate Oates, Jimmy, had circled this game for a while, saying it's the last best, biggest game we have on our schedule. And they still, of course, have a few more games. But he made it clear, we win this game, we're going to be the conference champion. We could end up with a number 1 seed.
I think they have a real shot, and I'm a firm believer in Alabama. I would have them 7th right now on teams that I think can win the national championship, but they are such a mismatch problem, very similar to Auburn 2 years ago. Auburn was a second away from getting to that national championship game. Alabama is for real. Regardless if they win or lose tonight, this is a dangerous, dangerous team out of the SEC.
Moody, he's being triple teamed, double teamed, ball on the floor, still has it. Williams forced up a 3, and they're going to get 3 free throws out of it.
What a horrible, horrible foul by Alabama. Late clock, no recognition, and Juwan Gary comes flying in front, and you foul a guy with the shot clock winding down who has made 3 all year in conference play.
It's one interesting note. You want to go deep into the numbers. So at the rim shots, which is something Alabama prides itself on since 2012, Jimmy, 16 teams have played for a shot at the title. All of them shot better than 60% at the rim. All but one over 64%. Alabama is shooting 42% at the rim. Doesn't jive with all those teams that have gone to the championship or Final Four.
No, it speaks to the power of a post player on a neutral floor. And in close ball games, able to throw it inside, get an and one, and get stuff done around the restricted arc. So there's a little bit of risk involved with the numbers that Alabama plays with, but I wouldn't want to see this team warming up on the other end that first or second weekend.
Arkansas back on top. Herb Jones penetrates. Did he go to the left shoulder? He does, and he missed it. And that's on a good box out by Williams.
Justin Smith still not involved offensively for Arkansas. Tucked in this right corner down here, 0 in white.
Yep.
Guy that's averaging double figures that Musselman just can't get him going in this game.
He's got 1 point. He's 0 for 3. He does have 7 rebounds. It may not be a big surprise. He's got Herb Jones who's guarding him. And that's another foul on Juwan Gary, and he puts his hands up like, what did I do?
Well, the same foul trouble that both teams fought in the first half. Alabama now already 5 fouls in this second half. Williams is a problem right now for Alabama. He scored 3 baskets in the second half, and he's doing a great job of showing his numbers to the outside passer and being a presence around that rim.
Well, Williams just laid a screen on Keon Ellis.
Yeah, and lucky he didn't call for a foul because his base was much wider than his shoulders.
Corner 3, Tate no good. Alex Reese, who was brutal for the short time he played in the first half, back in, hoping to get him on track. Another quick whistle.
37 fouls now, Ravi called in this game. Is that right? My math right? 32. 32 fouls called so far.
That one on Devo Davis. One other note, you have your list, the grade 8, the teams that can get there. The three-point shooting teams you mentioned, the 19 Auburn team, the Villanova team in 2018 was a 40% three-point shooting team. Gonzaga, who's everybody's number 1, currently 329th. at three-point shooting percentage. Like, that's not their thing.
No, it's not. They get you, but they get offense, man. They get about a clean look like the Brooklyn Nets do in the NBA. About a clean look anytime they want.
Right.
Good drive.
Talked a little bit last time we had Alabama's game about Herb Jones' explosiveness at the rim. We saw a dunk in the first half. Thought maybe with that ball fake he'd have a chance to go up and do the same, but instead laid it off the window and never got it there.
Yeah, he's going to his left. I mean, he was right in the power part of the floor.
Yeah.
Like that's his real estate.
Davis, that's a pretty good move there, and then he lost the ball, dribbled a little too much.
Yeah, Arkansas ran no offense, and you run no offense against Alabama and you try to attack a gap, you're going to turn that thing over. Reese playing behind the defense on the baseline. It's a tricky spot.
Petty left his feet. That's a turnover. Turnovers for each team now. Knotted up at 10. Tough shot. No good. There's Smith with a deflection, and it's in. Reese. No good. 0 for 5 from 3. Alex Reese.
Reese is 0 for 5 from 3, and he's only played 6 minutes in this game.
You know the adage, shooters shoot. It's the only way you're going to get out of it, no?
Yeah, the key word there is shooters. This kid is.
Moody missed. Offensive rebound grab. Quinterly, they nearly had a 3-on-none. And it's Moody to the floor. Pretty pass. Smith with back-to-back baskets.
Yeah, back-to-back effort plays by Smith. Gets him going offensively. And Arkansas was stung, man, the first 2 minutes of the second half. They called a timeout. The message was sent, message was received. The energy level has picked up for the Hogs.
John Petty wide open three. That's a layup for him, and he missed it. And listen to the crowd there at Bud Walton Arena. 4,000 have been let in. They sound like 40,000.
Come down and make Alabama work, man. Get that ball to the third side of the floor. Can you get Alabama in a defensive rotation? Don't settle for a tough one here. Yeah, tough shot. Not his strength at all, Devo Davis.
Quinterly in the corner, no good. And Alabama cold in the first half from 3, starting out the second half cold from 3 as well. Now 1 of 7. Too easy. Wide open with that elbow, Jimmy.
Yeah, but he deserved to make the shot because he turned down a 3. Bud Walton Arena was trying to get him to shoot it. He had the discipline to turn it down, and he comes back and gets a 14-footer. What a run by Arkansas.
Wasn't influenced by the 4,000 coaches yelling at him?
He was not.
Herb Jones, did he pick up his 4th foul?
500 hamburgers were passed out to the student section at 6:30. You know they have energy still. How about Woo Pig Suey the last 2 or 3 minutes? All these tight plays, man. The energy, the fight, the passion. Arkansas knows we got the #1 team in our league on our home floor. We are not going away.
The only thing missing was Jimmy Dykes saying Woo Pig when we went to break. This is a 15-2 run, Jimmy, for Arkansas.
Well, Justin Smith has decided to get involved in this ballgame. Every decision you make as a player is a vote for who you want to become. And that goes on the floor, off the floor. And at some point, Justin Smith has to make a decision in this game. Am I going to help us win or not? And what you do is you start playing hard and good things happen to you. And that's exactly what this kid has done. He's been a beautiful kid to blend into this Arkansas roster, the transfer from Indiana. And his energy and his toughness has been a big part of this 15-2 run by Arkansas.
Absolutely, he is a difference maker, a glue guy for this team. 8-1 since league play began with him. 1-4 without, and there's another 2 for Justin Smith.
Just a really good play by Musselman to get Justin Smith tucked away in the far corner. Kind of use him as a decoy, like nothing's going to happen here. Boom, and a violent cut got him right at the rim.
Not a good drive by Quinterly. He was met by Tate and a turnover with a chance for Arkansas to up their lead to more than 10 at the 10-minute mark.
It feels like, we're not in the building, that Alabama's on their heels right now. If you're Arkansas, don't guard yourself right now. Move that ball. You still got double digits on the shot clock. Make Alabama work and take good shots.
Herb Jones on the bench, 4 fouls. We got 3 on the shot clock, 2, 1. And that didn't get the rim. That's a violation for Tate.
Alabama answered the challenge, and they stayed locked in. They blew up a dribble handoff. Again, this team in crimson is the #2 defensive efficiency team in the country. They know how to win games on the road when they're behind because they defend their butts off.
Devo Davis picks up a foul. You mentioned the numbers. When you have a 1 in the column there, when it comes to defensive efficiency, and a lot of them, I tell you, we talked so much about their offense and their threes, Jimmy. This is what they're going to be remembered for if they go deep in the tournament.
Absolutely. Well, and they were number 114 in the country last year, Ravi.
Yeah.
But they took the time in the pandemic as a staff to completely believe 1,000% how we're going to defend this year. They delivered the message to their kids, and they've got some really good individual defenders. Herb Jones is terrific. Not tonight, though. Herb Jones has 4 fouls.
Jimmy.
What?
I said hard message. They sat Petty down for a game.
Yes.
Told him, you got to learn, you got to be better on defense. His mom was part of that conversation. He came back day after Christmas, said, I hear you, I understand. That was one of those thin ice moments. That could go either direction. Petty bought in, the team has bought in, and their defense has been a big, big difference maker for Alabama.
Yeah, Nate Oates told Petty in so many words, listen, no more blaming, no more complaining, no more deflecting in terms of hold yourself accountable. And he sent John Petty home for a day and came back, and John Petty said, Coach, no more problems for me. And to me, that's when Alabama's season changed.
Yeah, I agree. And he told us today the key to that, you can hammer kids in practice. You can have them sit out in practice. When you have them miss a game and it becomes public, everybody takes notice. That's a big Quinterly 3, and just like that, Alabama back within 4. Their second 3 of the second half. They're 2 of 8.
Ravi, Alabama comes in getting 36 points a game from the 3-point line. They only have 27 so far in this one. Arkansas's defense has to be high and tight early to finish off this 8:31 to go.
Ellis disgusted with himself. He bought the ball fake from Moody, and he will shoot 3 free throws. Gonna improve their free throw shooting. They're 14 of 23 in the game. That's a lot of points left at that free throw line.
You tell your players, if you take a ball fake at the 3-point line, we're going to wrestle in the locker room after the game. Keep your defensive discipline. Like Duke, you're playing with defensive discipline right now.
They have changed themselves a little bit. Saturday at 6, Louisville and Duke. And that's at Cameron Indoor. And then a Big 12 battle, number 2 Baylor, number 17 Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse. Awfully impressive performance in Texas against Kansas. It felt like they were going to lose that game, and Shaka Smart's Longhorns hung in and beat them. Now it's Baylor and Kansas. That is all on Saturday on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Yeah, Duke is now slapping the floor and backing it up. They're just not stretching their hamstrings when they do it. They're actually doing something about it. And that's an interesting watch right now at Duke. Are they going to play their way into this field? They're playing terrific basketball, moving that thing, a high assist rate. Uh-oh.
Bruner missed a rare 3-point miss tonight. Not a great 3-point shooter, but if you're just joining us, a huge first half. Moses Moody, silky smooth.
Moses Moody has a very quiet, soft release. He doesn't fight his shot. It just rolls off with a very natural rhythm.
Shackleford, pretty play in the lane. Jayden Shackleford.
That is his game, Ravi. He's a 31% 3-point shooter, capable of getting hot, but you have to keep Shackleford out of the paint if you're Arkansas going forward. That's what gets Alabama's offense going, the paint touch and the kick out for threes.
That's right. Their game against Vanderbilt, he was 1 of 9 from 3 and yet scored 27 points, all of them at the rim. Note in traffic. Who's coming up with the points in the second half? Dustin Smith now has 9. Another 3 missed from Bruner, and maybe they're laying off him a little bit, letting him keep shooting.
Yeah, he made 4 in the first half, and I mentioned he's got gravity ability now in this game, but now he's missed his last 2. And might back off just a little bit. You play the numbers that the season has told you coming in, not so much what the game has.
And the Herb Jones 4th foul, that impact is seen because Bruner's taking those shots. Petty with the kick. Bruner in the paint. Petty, no, and no foul. He's looking for one. Won't be called. And did they get a technical foul?
Yeah, I think Petty lost control with his tongue discipline. Been a lot of contact in this game. We've talked about the number of fouls that have been called. You're going to have to play through contact, but Petty felt like he got smoked and cost him 2 points. Nate Oates having a nose-to-nose conversation. Alabama's in a bad spot right now. 6:35 to go.
All right, thank you very much. Interesting play as we went to break there that had a technical foul called against John Petty. We looked at the replay, and we'll show it to you now. Watch him come in from out of bounds, Jimmy, and then the backboard actually blocks the shot first.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's even a legal play by Petty because he took himself out of bounds.
Yep.
And then before he reestablished himself, that ball was back in his paws, but the backboard blocked his shot. Was there some contact on his wrist after he let it go? Yes, but there's been a ton of contact in this game. Here's the message that Nate Oates, I bet, was sending to the official as we went to the break. The free throw attempts right now are 25 for Arkansas and 6 for us. Been a ton of fouls called in this game. How can it be that out of balance? That's the message that Nate, as any coach, would be asking right now. Right or wrong, that's what the numbers are showing.
You understand Alabama doesn't drive the basketball, but after those 2, it's now 27 free throws to 6. And the fact is, Arkansas's missed 10 free throws. They'd be up 20 in this game. Baby steps, got away with it. The bucket is good for Jayden Shackleford. Lead to 12.
Now Alabama is forced to play fast offensively, but they are comfortable doing it.
That's
and
the turnover.
Can't do that. The hot hands.
Note fouled by Quinterly, and it's coming apart right now for the number 6 team in the nation, Alabama.
Arkansas from the get-go has been very active and very wide, Ravi, on the ball. They're not playing narrow on the ball tonight. They're playing with a wide stance and wide hands, and they have had a ton of deflections because of it. It completely disrupted Alabama's offense in this ballgame.
Big Ten College Hoop doubleheader for you tomorrow. Number 3 Michigan sitting right atop the conference. Host Luka Garza. Number 9 Iowa. That's in Ann Arbor at 7 Eastern time. That's Sonic Blockbuster. And then East Lansing for number 4 Ohio State. All of a sudden going to be very careful against Tom Izzo's Michigan State team. Buckeyes trailing the Wolverines by a game and a half. Both games on ESPN and the app.
Like I said it earlier, in this order, I think the 4 teams that could win it: Gonzaga, Michigan, Ohio State, and now Baylor, to me, slides to 4. That the physicality of Michigan is a real problem for everyone in that NCAA tournament.
All right, Herb Jones back in with 4 fouls. He misses the shot. Bruner missed the follow. Gary was in there as well, and it's danger time here for Alabama. 1 loss in conference. Chance to win the SEC title tonight, but they got to beat Arkansas, and right now down 13. Note buries a 3, and that increases the lead to 16.
Such good action by Arkansas against the number 2 defensive team in the country. Eric Musselman being a terrific job of calling the plays that he wants tonight. He's driving the ball to the side that Note's on. Note comes with a jet cut into a wide open 3. Ravi, sometimes you know as a head coach afterwards, did I have a good game with my play calls or did I not? I think Musselman has been very good when he's gone to his play calls in this game.
14-2 run, largest lead of the night, 16 points. Alabama's three-point shooting really in the entire game, and now back-to-back games has deserted them. They're 9 of 27, 2 of 10 in this half. By the same token, they're very capable of cutting into a 16-point lead very quickly.
Yeah, you have to really climb into jerseys right now if you're Arkansas, because Alabama, what do they want to do? I know they want to shoot threes, but they want to drive the ball and get kickouts. If you're Arkansas, can you stay out of defensive rotations right now?
Quinterly throws it high up off the window, and it's over the outstretched arm of Tate for repair.
You'll take that, though. You forced Alabama to take a really tough two.
Tate again, no sir. Rebound with 4 fouls, Herb Jones. Gary sees a lane and he lays it in, and just like that, a quick 4-0 run.
Remember Missouri, you and I did the game. They were up 22 with 5 minutes to go, and it was a one-possession game in the last 30 seconds. You have to keep your pedal down against Alabama in the right way.
Tate hard. Petty that time won the battle on the defensive end. Loose ball on the floor. Herb Jones dives for it. If they get a foul on Jones, that's it for the game. I think Herb Jones just picked up foul number 5 with 4:18 to go, and the leader of the Tide is out.
A loose ball scramble, and you have to protect players in a loose ball situation. Herb Jones just dives at the back of Moses Moody. That's the proper call. And the most important guy on Alabama's team will sit now with 4:18 to go. Has not been his best night. 3 offensive fouls in this game. Did not read the hot defense of Arkansas. Did not handle the gap-heavy defense of Arkansas. And it has cost Alabama dearly.
So a play like that, is it, especially for a guy like Jones, who of course is a senior, he's been around, he knows he's playing with 4 fouls. Do you have to internally not do what you're instinctively taught to do?
Yeah, it's really hard to turn that switch off, Ravi, when that ball is so valuable, man, with 4:18 to go and you're playing your heart out. He didn't foul out on that one. He fouled out on the 3 charge calls that he could have avoided. That's what set it up.
But he knew he had 4. I agree. I hear you. I know how hard it is, but he's the most important player for them as Moody knocks in his 18th point.
Alabama still has 3-point shooters on the floor. They don't put a bad player or a bad shooter on the floor. Gary, number 4, is the one guy that's probably not going to fire threes.
Shackleford will. He spins. He'll also do that to the hole. No good. Gary had a chance, and he got undercut. It'll be a foul against Arkansas.
Big week for Arkansas. Alabama tonight. LSU comes in on Saturday. And Arkansas, with back-to-back wins this week, could find themselves more in that 5-seed mode, going the right direction. They still have to find a way to close this one out.
Quinterly nearly to the 5-second clock, gets it into Petty. That's going to be a travel.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Sure was.
Sidestep and didn't come down to the jump stop. It's been a rough night for Petty as well. He made a couple of threes early back-to-back. And Arkansas has worn that jersey every bit as much as Petty has tonight, giving him no airspace. And again, this is the kid that really coils into his shot when the ball's coming his way. Arkansas has been there on the touch most of this ball game.
Petty has only taken 8 shots, Jimmy, and he's got 12 points. 14-point lead.
Double technical? Is that what it is?
I think so. Yeah, on Quinterly and Tate.
Double technical foul.
How hard can you compete without losing your discipline? That's what both coaches, the message needs to be right now. This game's not over. Keep fighting your tails off. Make sure we do not lose our discipline.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's. Drive a new jalapeno popper chicken sandwich and salad today at participating U.S. Wendy's. Jimmy loves Wendy's. So Alabama in trouble, down 14, under 4 to go. Arkansas projected number 6 seed, as Jimmy said. Big game this weekend, too, with LSU. Chance to maybe get off the 6th line and move up. Alabama has an outside shot of getting on the 1 line. The Nate Oates team with 2 losses in conference. It would then come down to see what you do in the SEC tournament and what the Big Ten schools do.
Yeah, I think that 1 seed hope for Alabama goes away, Ravi, if they don't come back with 3:47 to go. I just think there's too many teams that are going to have a resume stack up above them.
Offensive rebound, no good. Gary comes away with it. Now it's Shackleford. He pulls up for a 3. Can't get it, needed it, and it's Arkansas basketball. 3.5 and a 14-point lead.
Ravi, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how you guard Alabama. You take good shots with a balanced floor. And that's what Arkansas has done for the most part in this game. There haven't been the runouts. They have not had the transition baskets from Alabama because Arkansas has taken good shots with a balanced floor. Keep that going the last 3 minutes. You're going to get a win.
Keon Ellis will try a 3. That's no good. And the 3-point shooting is now 9 of 29 in the game. We talk a lot about the free throws. Well, Alabama, while they drive it, they don't get to the rim tonight. They've taken all the threes. They haven't made any. And the free throw shooting discrepancy is what it is. 31 free throws for Arkansas, 6 for Alabama.
And
but
Ravi,
29 3-point attempts.
And out of those 29 3-point attempts, I bet 10 or 11 have been the sidestep threes because Arkansas has ran them off that 3-point line. Been very consistent. Did a demo early this year about Arkansas holding up bricks, sprinting out to the 3-point line. That's how they teach their 3-point defense, and they have been on point in this game in that area.
Note going to get called with the offense. Doug Shows tells Musselman he pushed off with that left hand of his.
Good communication by Doug Shows and Lee Cassell. I'm pretty sure they looked at each other. They both blew the whistle at the same time, made eye contact, and both agreed with the push-off. Bama needs threes. You're Arkansas. You're okay with them driving that ball right now. Just stay up top. Get your heels above the 3-point line if you're Arkansas. You can win this thing going away.
Smith with a flush, and that may do it with 2 minutes to go. Justin Smith, huge in the second half.
They can make all those they want if you're Arkansas. Just put a little bit of resistance on them. Let Alabama keep driving the ball. You're fine. Don't turn it over. Move the ball. Arkansas has been the better team tonight. I know Alabama's number 6 and deservedly so. But Arkansas's defense, Ravi, from the down action, the ice action, not letting Alabama get the ball to the middle, staying in front of the basketball, guarding the 3 by guarding the ball. Arkansas was exceptional tonight in this game. It's a lot of good pieces, a very balanced attack, right? Arkansas, you agree?
They've been outstanding tonight. Yeah, you had Smith with 11, Moody 19, Williams 11, Tate and Note a dozen each. And this is what would scare fans of Alabama. You have a game in the tournament, and all of a sudden, Jones gets in foul trouble. Reese misses every 3 he takes. The team collectively shoots 9 of 30.
And that's the dice that Nate Oates rolls, though. He's terrific to listen to in terms of how he sees offense and the value he puts on it. I think Alabama, though, tonight, Ravi, they could not get in a rhythm because the guys in white, they were absolutely locked in defensively. They took it personal. My man's not going to score. I'm going to be held accountable on this game film. And they've done a beautiful job of it. Up 11 now with 1:30 to go.
They've gotten to the loose balls, the 50-50 balls they've won. They've shot better from the field and their three-point shooting, which hasn't been great, but they've minimized it because they've taken so few of them. Here's our Saturday slate. Let's talk about these games. Tennessee struggle. They're on the struggle bus right now. Noon Eastern against Auburn without Sharif Cooper. Whatever the next thing after the struggle bus is, that's where Auburn was when we did their game.
Yeah,
LSU and Arkansas, we'll have that at 2 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2. See if the Hogs, if they can hang on tonight, get another big win against the Tigers. And Alabama and Mississippi State. The A&M Missouri game has already been postponed due to COVID protocols within the A&M program. A&M hasn't played a game in February.
Yeah, that's just an odd, awkward situation that A&M's has tried to work through this year. Ravi, there's one stat that a coach controls: minutes played. That's the one stat he can control. And what has Eric Musselman done tonight? Heavy minutes. Smith has gone for 37 minutes, Moody for 38 minutes, and Tate for 37. He knows those are his three most important guys. Even when Smith was struggling, he didn't pull his minutes back. You keep your winning players, your most important guys, on the floor. The one stat coach controls is minutes played, and Eric stayed right with his guy tonight, Smith, and he delivered over the last 12.
You know, and I can tell you, just updating Joe Lenardi, who just sent this out, Alabama, if they lose this game, will still be a 2 seed, but they will slide back to the number 6 on the overall seed list. Razorbacks ascend to a 5 seed with the win in Joe Lenardi's world. So you mentioned it could happen. He's got it already happening, assuming they hang on and win tonight. They'll go to a 5 seed. Alabama stays at 2, but they drop to the number 6 overall.
This will be the 8th SEC win in a row for Arkansas.
Yeah.
And they had their own bad stretch. They had back-to-back losses to Missouri and Tennessee. I remember Eric here locally talking about, I was not any good, my assistants weren't any good, and our guys weren't any good. And there was a high level of accountability, a lot of one-on-one talks with Eric and his players about shot selection and how we need to play this game going forward. Fixing the problem within the season is critical. Good coaches can identify the problem, but they can't fix the problem. Great coaches can identify the problem and fix the problem within the season. Musselman has done that with his guys.
And they took a punch. Remember, Alabama came out in the second half, went on a run, grabbed the lead.
How is that not something? I mean, two guys just with a collision and nothing's called with all the fouls we've had called in this game. Watch this. That's something. That's not a normal basketball play.
No, but like Petty having the backboard block a shot, there was a little bit of a trip leading into the contact. I don't think it was a foul on the defender. Now that's a foul. I mean, that's a takedown.
Ravi, a 31-point loss by Arkansas in Tuscaloosa.
Well, something happened on the floor, absolutely, and it's Petty again, who's right there with Nate Oates, but if he picked up a second technical, they're already saying goodbye to him. Well, the other part of this too, Jimmy, was the frustration level that we saw from Alabama tonight. Obviously, this is the culmination of it with Petty being ejected from the game with the second technical. But they
Petty needs a lead. He needs to close his mouth and walk off the floor. You got it handed to you tonight in Bud Walton Arena. You're a heck of a team. You've had a heck of a year. And the second technical comes in, and Doug says, I've heard enough. I've seen enough. You need to go. And what will Alabama do now? And I think Tate is now gone too. What will Alabama now do? Because I think they go to Mississippi State and Auburn, but then that SEC tournament. They've been knocked in the nose tonight by Arkansas. Sailing along at 18-5, 13-1. And how will Nate Oates' guys respond from this loss in Bud Walton?
They dealt with that early adversity. They had that conversation. They sat Petty down. But Petty frustrated with his 4 for 8 performance tonight. The officiating has certainly been a factor in this game. Just the sheer number of fouls that were called. But I think this is frustration based on Arkansas's defense, based on the inability to knock down threes.
Well, Alabama hasn't had this happen to them just one other time, and that was a ferocious comeback at Missouri. They left that loss feeling different than they're going to leave Bud Walton tonight. They've got knocked around.
They got to feel great about this performance and the fact that they've won 8 games in a row in the SEC, and they are looking at a double bye in the SEC tournament.
Well, anytime an official has a headset on at the DV Sport monitor and he asks for a pen and paper, you know there's something going on. Making sure the numbers are right and where are we in the technical fouls. And
I wonder what, we didn't have a good shot of it. I wonder what it was that caused Tate to get thrown out of the game. We kind of saw Petty when the foul was called in the corner, and then you saw Doug Schaus look at him and throw him out. I don't know, what Tate did to get himself thrown out. Let's see if we can find it here.
Tate is 11 in white. At that point, Petty's already been tossed. I'm not so sure that Tate hadn't been teed up as well. No, there. After that, yeah. After that, Jayden Tate was trying to get Tate back, trying to drag him away from wherever Tate was trying to go. And Doug Schaus said, nope, not on my watch. I said it earlier, Alabama came in tonight with, and I love this about Alabama, a collective, confident cockiness about it. And if you let Alabama punk you, believe me, they will. And Alabama would not allow that tonight in any area of the game.
Back-to-back really bad three-point shooting games, and as Nate said, we got away with it, against Vanderbilt. We have another one of those games against Arkansas. We're gonna get hammered. And this game is, the scoreboard's a little closer than the game I think has been. Arkansas has been the better team all night long.
There's a lot to work through. We can land a spaceship on Mars and we can't get this thing finished right now. We've looked at the monitors, we've had pens and papers and a lot of action there, a lot of stuff for Doug Schaus and his crew to work through. You want to make sure you come out of that with a clean message to both coaches. This is what your guy did, this is what their other guy did, and this is where we go from here.
While they've missed 15 free throws, Moses Moody has made 12 of 14, 13 of 15 free throws. Moses Moody's got 21 points, 13 of them have been on the free throw line. Now Quinterly will shoot the technical on Tate. That was almost an air ball.
I mean, this has been all about Arkansas tonight. The defense on Herb Jones to draw the charges, not letting Alabama get comfortable offensively, throwing different looks at him, throwing different bodies on different guys, really guarding the ball, not backing down when the fight became a fight like it did out of the halftime. Alabama came out and threw some heavy blows.
They did.
Eric called a timeout and said, yeah.
He averages 14 a game, Jimmy. He had 5 tonight. Primo, 4 points tonight. Herb Jones, 4 points, 2 of 6 shooting, 5 fouls.
That's the impact that Moody can have. He can have a little bit of an off night shooting the ball, but again, his nose around the rim as an offensive rebounder and tough plays to get himself to the free throw line. Arkansas has got really good individual pieces that are unique, and they blend together really, really well. They will not be easy to handle in Nashville, Ravi, or beyond.
They're going to send Moody back to the free throw line. They had opportunities to foul other guys, Jimmy, and they end up fouling the guy that's made 14 free throws tonight.
Well, Alabama's going to have to learn from this. They've had a lot of things going their way. And they battled through the injury of Bruner and kept winning and kept the thing going down the path. But this will be a message-sending loss from Arkansas to Alabama. And how will Alabama bounce back? I think they have great culture. I think they have great belief in how they're supposed to play. They will not waver from that. But it will test the maturity of this Alabama team going forward. Quiet release, isn't it, from Moody? Just simple and quiet.
Yeah. Yep. Whether it's a jump shot or a free throw. Absolutely. There's a little defense from Moody, too, which the crowd loves. And look, let's be honest. You know it. Arkansas didn't want Alabama to come in and celebrate a championship on their floor.
No. In a normal year, there would be 20,000 plus in Bud Walton Arena, and the place would be going absolutely nuts. Pretty good tonight with 4,000.
Jalen Williams has had a very good game for Eric Musselman tonight. The freshman out of Fort Smith, Arkansas, knocks in both. Walk on Bruner.
Arkansas lost, Ravi, 90-59 back on January the 16th. And to flip this thing and the score that they did, that is a tremendous swing from the month of January to the end of February. The improvement by Arkansas, the belief, the growth in this team. Have no concern saying right now Arkansas playing the best basketball of anyone in this league, and they're playing it at the right time.
Yep, they lost that game 90-59. They have not lost another game in conference. 81-66 statement from the Razorbacks. Their next test Saturday against LSU. We'll see you at 2 o'clock Eastern time for that one. Longest SEC winning streak in the last 20 years. Moses Moody, 24 points, the big difference. No title tonight for the Tide as Arkansas rolls them. For Jimmy Dykes and our entire crew, I'm Carl Ravitch. Thanks for watching the SEC on ESPN. It's time for SportsCenter.